In this video, we're going to show you how to install the lower active shutter grille on your Ford F-150 located behind the front bumper. Now with the vehicle raised and supported, we're going to come on up here behind the passenger side, and if you have the fog light package on this vehicle, right behind it, you're going to find the fog light bulb connector. And you want to go ahead and push on this counterclockwise. I want to rotate that bulb. I'm going to disconnect this. Now you can either remove the bulb or you can undo the connector. Now if you want to go ahead and disconnect the connector from the bulb itself, you'd simply open up these two tabs right here and pop this connector off of the bulb itself. But it is a little bit harder to do, especially if there's debris in here, and ours has that. It's kind of stuck in there a little bit. You want to repeat this process for the passenger side. Now if we follow our fog light harness up, there's going to be a retainer right here, and that actually attaches to one of the bumper brackets. You can use our trim tool right here, come on in right behind it and pop that out. Repeat for the passenger side. Now on the outside portion of our passenger side of the front frame here, you're going to find this bolt and this nut. It's a 21 millimeter nut. You need to loosen and remove this on both sides. You can use an impact driver or whatever you want. I'm going to start with my breaker bar and my 21 millimeter socket. I'm going to break it free and then just switch over to my electric impact gun here and zip that out the rest of the way. Repeat for the driver's side. Next, we want to go ahead and locate our covers here. They're on either side of your license plate bracket. We need to pop these off. You can use a plastic trim tool or your regular trim tool. You're going to find a seam. You want to pop in and pop this out. There's going to be some retaining clips. You pop that out. And there's just metal retaining tabs that have these clips on here. Just snaps into place. Repeat this for the passenger side. Remove your license plate bracket. The best way I can describe this is that behind each of these four ports, here and here, here and here, there's going to be claws, fingers that actually go in and kind of snap in behind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach around and I'm going to pull those claws out and separate it. And here they are. Now in some cases here, the reason why you have to remove that license plate bracket is that if you have the adaptive cruise control unit, you're going to have to access some wiring. And also if your engine is equipped with an engine block heater, it's going to be located behind this area. By removing the license plate bracket, you're going to have access to hardware and clips you need to get to. If you don't have any of that component or components over here, then you can leave the license plate bracket. In our case here, we do not have it. We're going to install our license plate bracket back on. Simply line it up with the bars right here and push it on to snap it into place. Behind the covers here on either side of the license plate is going to be two bolts and nuts. These are 21 millimeter nuts. Two of them here. It's going to be two on the passenger side. I'm going to use my socket, small extension, and my impact gun. I'm going to loosen and remove these. Now before we just go over and do the two on the other side, it's going to be best if you have an extra set of hands to hold the bumper in place while we loosen and remove the nuts on the other side. It's a good idea because the bumpers in most cases are painted. If you want to do those nuts and the bumper falls on the ground, well, you're going to mark up and damage that bumper. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and repeat for the passenger side. You can see the bumper drop down a little bit. Now with some assistance, I'm going to go ahead and grab that bumper, slide it forward, and then go ahead and set it down. Now in the upper portion here, you're going to find this wiring harness. We're going to use our trim tool, and we need to release the white little retainer trim button right here. We're going to do this process for the passenger side. Now on the lower end here, we have 8mm screws. There's one here and one on the other side. Repeat for the passenger side. On the top portion here of our shutter unit, there's going to be an 8mm bolt right up and over the edge right here. Now the only way you can really get to this here is if you use like a bent 8mm wrench. You can't fit a 1/4-inch ratchet in there. You're going to fit that in there, and you want to go ahead and loosen these bolts. There's one here on the driver's side and one on the passenger side. If you don't have this tool here, you're going to end up having to pull the grill assembly out with all of this here to gain access straight down on it. So just continue to do this until you can get this bolt out, and then repeat for the passenger side. And once you get that bolt up high enough, switch over to your open end wrench. Get that right up on top there. Continue spinning this out. You may get it high enough where you can go ahead and spin that the rest of the way by hand. There we go. There it is. I'm going to repeat for the passenger side. Now that we have our two bolts out, as we lift this up, there's going to be a little alignment pin right here that goes down into the steel. Lift this up and pull it out. Now if you can't get it out all the way, you can use a small pry bar to go ahead and wedge that up. Just pry it up a little bit and then pull it forward. Do the same for the other side. So we're going to use our trim tool. I'm going to slide this out. And right here by this orange tape, if you can see that, right here and on the other side are retainers just like we popped out here. And we have one more sensor on the back side here we need to pop out. Once again, just use your trim tool. And go ahead and tilt our unit off to the side. On the passenger side, we have the connector for the actuator motor. There's just a little pinch tab on there. You're going to pinch that and pull that off, like so. Now we're going to grab a new part, and we're simply going to reverse the removal procedure. Grab a connector. Line it up, push it on. I'm going to rotate this up. And install our harness here. Pop that sensor into the retainer hole right here. As we raise this up, install the harness that has the little white retainer tabs. Position the lower around our rubber spacers here. Another one thing you want to pay attention to is on the passenger side of this unit, the lower bolt hole mounting here is fixed. It's solid all the way around. And on top of the steel bracket where this pin goes into, it's a fixed position drilled hole. On the driver's side, on the steel bracket, it's a slotted hole up on the top back. And on the bottom side here where the bolt goes through, it's also slotted. There's a hole on the outer portion, so it's adjustable. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up the passenger side first. I want to bring this back, get our pin lined up, and drop that down into position. Once that's in there, we're going to go ahead and drop in the driver's side. it is. Let's go ahead and get our bolt started. I did put a little bit of spray lube on these bolts to help get these in. And this side here is the slotted position, so we're just going to find that port. And once you have that, start getting that in. Now I have our bolt started here. I'm going to go over to the passenger side, get that bolt started, and then we'll continue on from there. We have the uppers lined up and started. Let's go ahead and get our lower bolt started. All right, we have our lower passenger side bolt in. Let's do the same for the driver's side. All right, we have our lower bolts in. Let's now go ahead and tighten down both upper bolts and secure those down. And when tightening this down, you just want to make sure that it's good and snug. I'm going to repeat this for the driver's side. All right, the upper bolts are tight. Let's go ahead and tighten down our two lowers. Snug these down gently. Grab your harness, install the little white retainer tabs up on the top. Repeat it for the passenger side. Now with assistance, we're going to go ahead and raise our bumper up into position. Wiggle that up and in. Now along the top here, we have a gasket and we have an air diverter in the back here. I'm going to use my trim tool to lift that up so we can get our bumper up and into place. And as we work this in, we have our studs coming through on our brackets. I'd like to go ahead and get the nuts started on these brackets. Once you get one side started, go ahead and get the other side started. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the bumper in and up while I snug this down. And go ahead and do the same for the other. After you tighten these down, if you do happen to have the block heater and any other components, go ahead and get those installed now. Install your covers here. Line up the plastic pin with this upper port. And then just gently press it in. Repeat for the passenger side. Now inside here, I'm going to go ahead and get these nuts started. And we'll come on in with our impact gun and tighten them down. Go ahead and repeat this process for the other side. Go ahead and grab your wire harness for your fog light. Line that up and push that retainer in. Let's install our bulb. Let's go ahead and get our bulb installed here. Once we get that in, go ahead and twist that over. And there it is. You want to go ahead and repeat this process for the driver's side.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.